slopes. Here we will find how to assign a specific numeric value to the slope. How can you make a distinction between 0.6 and 0.7, between 1.4 and 2, and so on. So slope is defined as tan of theta. Do not worry, we are not going to use a lot of trigonometry. In fact, we are not going to use any of trigonometry, but I need to do this because that is how it is defined, one way of defining it, right? And this angle theta is nothing but the angle from the direction of the positive x-axis. So what this means is, this is the x-axis. If this is my line, I take this angle as theta. Okay, so tan theta is going to be my slope. And what if the line was a decreasing line? Still I would take the angle from the direction of the positive x-axis. So this is my theta. The only difference is theta in this case is going to be greater than 90. Even if the line is a very flat one, but a decreasing line, the theta will still be greater than 180, right? And two specific cases we have already seen. When the line makes an angle of exactly 45 degrees, then the slope is going to be tan 45, and tan 45 is nothing but 1. And if it is passing through the middle of the second and the fourth coordinate, so this angle is 45, but we don't use this angle, mind you. We are still going to use this angle, and this is 135. So the slope is going to be tan of 135, which if you don't know doesn't matter. Just remember it's -1. And you can safely ignore all of this. It is just for complete comprehensive coverage of slope. So what is a more laymanish understanding of slope? A more laymanish understanding of slope is the change in y. Change in y coordinate, I'll just leave it as y, over change in x. What I mean here is, on a first one I'll do a detailed one, so look carefully. I just select any 2 points on the line. It doesn't matter which 2 points we take. Let's name them as A and B. Again, I fix an order, let's say from A to B. So I am originally at A, then I am at B. It doesn't matter which order you are taking. Okay. So to start, let's say I am at A, then I reach at B. When I am at A, am I at a certain height, certain y coordinate? Height is denoted by from the x-axis. When I reach B, has my height changed? Has my y coordinate changed? This is called your change in y. And this change in y and so on, it's much easier to write it as delta y. You know, don't get scared of these symbols. These are just to reduce our writing effort. That's about it. So delta means change. At the same time, is there a change in my x coordinate also when I move from point A to B? On the right left dimension, have I shifted? Yes. I was at A, certain, I moved to B. So this part is called your change in x. Change in x, again delta x. Right? So change in y over change in x, delta y by delta x is the slope. This is typically denoted by this sort of triangle. And let me point here, it really doesn't matter which 2 points you take. If you take 2 points which are very close, this will be denoted by the slope. If you take 2 points which are very far apart, doesn't matter. You are going to get the same slope. So let me say this is delta y1, delta x1. If this is delta y2, delta x2, right, the change, then what we'll have is delta y1 by delta x1 will be equal to delta y2 by delta x2. Will I have to do all this? No. As I said, this is primarily for beginners. Which point does not make a difference? Which pair of points? You will always get the same ratio. Let's take up a numbers and then solve it very quickly, right? So let's take A is -1 and at a height of 3. B is 3 and at a height of 5. So since my original line was A to B, okay, so I'm going from A to B. I was at 3 and I went to 5. So what is the change in y coordinate? 5 minus 3. So this change is going to be 2. Okay, and it's plus 2 because I've gone to a height. Now let's see what is the change in the x coordinate. I was at minus 1, I've moved to 3. Which direction? Plus direction, minus 1. 0, 1, 2, 3. So that is a shift of 4. How do I get that? If I do minus of minus 1, which is a 4, right? So you could even write this in the textbook style as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is how it is written in most textbooks. Slope m is nothing but y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I again repeat, students, it really doesn't matter whether you are going from A to B or B to A. The slope is same. Do not try to think because I am going from B to A, I am going downhill, so the slope will become negative. No, sorry, it doesn't happen that way. Look carefully. If I take this as my x1, y1, the original values, and this as my x2, y2, let's calculate y2 minus y1. So can I say 3 minus 5, which is a minus 2. Okay, think I was at a height 5. I've come down to a height of 3. Have I reduced by 2? Minus 2 drop? Yes. Let's check x2 minus x1. So is this a minus 4? And this slope is same as half. Whatever we had got here, this was half, this is also half. Right? So just by changing the direction, that doesn't mean the slope has changed, right? So hope you are okay. The slope is, for this line, the slope will always be positive because from left to right it is increasing. Let's do an example on just slopes, though this is a little tough example. So we are given 3 points A, B and C. The coordinates of B are unknown, expressed in terms of K. If triangle ABC is a right angled triangle, right angled at B, we are supposed to find K. So right angled at B simply means that the line AB is perpendicular to the line BC. And if lines are perpendicular to each other, I have the slope. Slope is denoted by M. So let me say slope of AB into the slope of BC is equal to minus 1. And how do we find slope? AB. So there's a minus sign here. So I'm going from A to B. So I'm doing, this is my 0 minus of minus K. And since I've gone from 0 minus of minus K, I have to do 1 minus of 2K. This is slope of AB into slope of BC. This time I'll do change in y. Remember first, in the numerator change in y. I'll do C minus B. That will change this negative sign. So I'll do 1 minus of minus K over, I will have to be consistent. I'll have to do 6 minus of 2K. And this product is minus 1. Hereafter, it's just an algebraic question, and in fact, most of your coordinate system questions are going to, in the second, third step itself, become an algebraic question thereafter. Right? It's not a very exciting topic as such, right? Therefore, I've been delaying these videos because there's very little to teach. Most of it you know. So I'm just doing the solving the expression. You solve it on your own. I'll just be a little fast here. Minus minus is going to become K. This, so K into 1 K plus K square. I again urge you, please solve it on your own. Okay. The minus will remain. I'm also cross multiplying directly. Minus 2K and a minus 2K is going to become a 4K square. This is a minus 12K and a minus 2K, which will be a minus 14K. The constant is 1 6 are 1. This is a plus 6. Remember, there's a minus sign. Now I'm taking all of them to one side. So this is going to be 5K square plus plus will be a minus, so I'll be getting a minus 13k, minus 6 will become a plus 6. A simple quadratic. A is not 1, so 5 6 are 30. So two numbers whose product is 30 and sum is 13. So we know 10 into 3. So those all are in your margin work, right? You solve the quadratic on your own, student. This is not a quadratic lecture, right? I'm again solving it fast. So k minus 10 by 5 into k minus 3 by 5. And which simply tells me that the value of k is going to be a plus 2 or it is going to be a 3 by 5. You will always get two values in such questions, always, as in the sense if it is identical to this. Why is that? Look here. So if I have line 2 points and they are right angle, right? So this is option 1 for the point B. I could even go the other way and I could even have another right angle. This is the option B, option number 2. So why there are two answers, right? This will also be. So just complete the rectangle, you will always get two different answers there.